That's the Miller. He's got to come back. Distance. They've been out 6-inch plastic. Here's some new one. She wouldn't do this right. Did you? Should they sing one there every now and then? No. It was on our side. Well, it has an open day. It's open on Area 6 side. But not enough. But you know the biggest problem is you couldn't park. I don't think they even cut it off. I don't know that. And then you don't get enough pressure because there's too many. No. Hidey hole spots in there. I forgot about. I can't get one on the back. Is that right? Oh, it's fun. You know, I go I need it here. That water, I'm going to park myself down at TZA.
All right. We'll call the meeting to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please take roll?
Councilman Nixon?
Here.
Councilman Montoya?
Here.
Councilman Bruce?
Here.
Councilman Race?
Here.
Mayor Graves?
Here. You have before you an agenda. There are no changes, I do not believe. So I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will move on and do the oath of office. We will start with Officer Jacob Buller. I was going to say, do you want me to do it? Because we don't have a judge here to do it.
If you move this way a little bit, then I can get him on
the
YouTube.
YouTube. tell me when we're on YouTube. All right. Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Jacob Buller, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support.
I, Jacob Buller, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Obey and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position.
Or caused to be done by others, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Or cause it to be done by others, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
You are now officially sworn in. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
And then we will do Ryder Seeley. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
I, Ryder Seeley, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support.
I, Ryder Seeley, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Obey and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
And the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position.
That I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position.
Or caused it to be done by others, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Or cause it to be done by others, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. And Chief, These guys have been with us and through school, and they are on their own doing their thing, correct?
They're still in the updale process of finishing up in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
And they'll head to academy following
Yep.
January.
Awesome. Moving on to the appointment section. Before you in your council packet, you have a Board of Adjustment applicant questionnaire. For the purpose of discussion, I would recommend that the council approve Deborah Banish and open the floor to any questions you might have, because I see that Deb come. So
I move we accept the nomination of Deborah Banish to the Board of Adjustments.
I'll second that.
is there any further discussion or questions for Deb? Or Deb, do you want to speak?
No, thanks.
Come on.
Okay.
You know, they meet like 2 times a week.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
They do? Well, hearing no other further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
That's so easy.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, guys.
That was painless, huh?
It really was. Thank you.
I tried to get you to say something,
Only in case of emergency,
only in case of emergency.
right?
Then I know what to say.
Moving on to the consent agenda. You have before you the items of the consent agenda. For the purpose of discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve and place to record the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Is there further discussion?
I have a correction on the minutes that I gave to Candy earlier. The roll call is not correct. It's missing Councilman Montoya, who was present and accounted for.
Thank you. It's nice to be missed.
You have a different version of the economic health and data. I had given this a couple months ago and it's got slipped around or something, so I had added a few more charts to it just for kind of give you a little more info on. Still has the utility census and the enrollments from the school, but it also has housing, employment, and cost of living. The cost of living one's kind of interesting. That's the one in the bottom left corner. And the orange line is the U.S. inflation index. And then the blue dots that are kind of randomly around those, that's Wyoming's cost of living index. But they only publish it twice a year. They haven't published the one for the second and fourth quarters. And I haven't seen the second quarter of this year come out yet. So.
Interesting how it's significantly higher than
But yeah,
the trend.
yeah. The U.S. Yeah. So anyway. As a matter of the public video record, the police chief's report was pretty interesting this month. They had an episode where they partnered with the sheriff and canines, and they were able to apprehend an individual involved in a theft ring from Colorado. They were stealing tools and equipment in Cheyenne, Laramie, and Weld County. And they recovered over $20,000 worth of stolen property here at the Best Western They chased him around. Pretty interesting. And then thanks to an Apple Watch, they saved an individual's life who had the watch had sent out a notice that she had fallen or somebody had fallen and was not responding, and they showed up and she was having a heart attack and they revived her. So that's pretty amazing.
Looks like the officers have been busy because Judge Harris's numbers are up a bunch.
A bunch.
That's the two new guys trying to impress.
Trying to get out there and. And Doug, I like your report where you combine the upcoming items, the upcoming things on the.
Oh,
I
okay.
really like that because if there's something that catches an eye or something that somebody has a vested interest in, it's nice to see those advanced warning for those dates. I like that. It's a nice new feature of your report.
I like the new feature of the public notice in the paper. Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah. I'm working on a good one for the county. I haven't got that figured out yet. Moving towards howdy, friends.
Did not go unnoticed. Your elk skin glove purchases did not go unnoticed this month.
Actually, those were from May. We did our due diligence and called around and found all that, and so those were purchased in May. They just had some problems with their billing system, and so that's why it's just now.
Cool.
But yeah,
Also did not go unnoticed.
yes, thanks.
I had a question on these, Snap-on tools, Andrew Star Snap-on tools.
Uh-huh.
Was that for different departments?
That was, during budget, you guys had approved for him to get a AC charger, and that's what that was.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It's a big one.
Just wasn't specific there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a lot of sockets.
That's a lot of sockets, man. I hope everybody in the department got it.
Probably has to think. I didn't know whether I'd missed something, Doug, on the M2 variants.
Uh-huh.
I never did hear results of that.
That'll be on October 18th.
So it's coming up yet?
Yes, it's coming up.
So that,
Yep, that'll be next week.
okay. I thought that had happened like it's.
The project was approved. The storage sheds were approved. Now they're requesting a variance.
Okay, this is,
Yeah, this is something different. They want to bring the front setback. They want to remove the front setback so they can put in a 6-foot fence and all their storage units right up to the property line.
okay. Well, I'd gotten a certified letter on it, being from the golf club up there, and I never had heard where that was at.
The variance will be next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going on.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on to petitions, memorials, proclamations, and public comment. We have no Merlin tonight,
We have Mr.
but Matthew has taken his place.
Apparently, and I apologize, I was taking advantage of the federal holiday, so I'm dressed like this. As you're aware, Merlin is in his twilight tour, and he's almost done, moving on to his other new job, which is Santa Claus on a Christmas tree in Colorado. So, we have posted the position for executive director. To date, I have 5 applications. We've not interviewed any yet. 4 of the 5 are local Platte County residents, and one of them is a former resident. Also wanted to invite you all to our annual meeting on October 19th at 5:30 p.m. at the 10th Street Social. It will be 50s themed, I guess. We will have a guest speaker, a small businessman from Cheyenne, Patrick Collins, who also happens to be the mayor. So if you have not yet received your invitation, please consider yourself invited, and if you can, please RSVP to Brooke Brockman so we can get a head count for the meals. But you are invited, so please come if you can. That's October 19th at 5:30.
At, where'd you say?
The 10th Street Social, which
Okay.
is 812 10th Street. So
Okay.
it would be fun to try that as a venue.
Nice place.
Very nice.
And I've got a phone number if anybody needs it for Brooke to RSVP. And hopefully with the filling of the position, PC will be better positioned to take on the economic health trends and then come back and talk to the council about how we might take that on and expectations, things of that nature. So that's something we thought just the timing for us wasn't great with Merlin kind of on his way out.
Sure.
That's something that we think that we want to do for the town. So, unless there's questions, thank you.
Is there any other public comment at this time? I have a proclamation. You're going to have to endure my reading of it.
All right.
Wyoming Childhood Cancer Awareness Week proclamation. Whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and the Kids Cancer Connection report cancer is the leading cause of death by disease among children in the United States. This tragic disease is detected in more than 16,000 of our nation's young people each and every year. And whereas 1 in 5 of our nation's children loses his or her battle with cancer, many infants, children, and teens will suffer from the long-term effects of comprehensive treatment, including secondary cancers, and an estimated 400,000 children and adolescents are diagnosed with cancer globally each year. And whereas founded nearly 30 years ago by Stephen Firestein, a member of the philanthropic Max Factor Cosmetics family, and American Cancer Fund for Children Incorporated, and Kids Cancer Connection Incorporated, along with the Lions Club International, are dedicated to helping these children and their families. And whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and Kids Cancer Connection provide a variety of vital patient psychosocial services to children undergoing cancer treatment at the Intermountain Primary Children's Hospital, Shriners Children's Salt Lake City, and the Billings Clinic Hospital, the Children's Hospital of Colorado, Rocky Mountain Children's Hospital at Presbyterian, St. Luke's in Denver, Rocky Mountain Pediatric, Hematology, Oncology, and Casper, as well as any other participating hospital throughout the country, thereby enhancing the quality of life for these children and their families. And whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and Kids Cancer Connection also sponsor toy distributions, family sailing programs, positive appearance programs, Laughter Noon, Laughter is Healing, Pet Assisted Therapy, KCC Supercar Experience, educational programs, and hospital celebrations in honor of the child's determination and bravery to fight the battle against childhood cancer. Now, therefore, I, Brandon Graves, Mayor of the town of Wheatland, do hereby declare October 23rd through the 29th as Wyoming Childhood Cancer Awareness Week.
Yeah.
And then I guess you could call notice to a couple of letters in the public comment section.
Yeah.
Unfinished business, item number 1, ordinance number 838, the rezoning of 754 Cole Street on second reading.
For discussion, move to accept ordinance 838 on second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
Nothing's changed, right?
Councilman Madsen did ask to know what the conditions were that were set by the Board of Adjustments. And so,
Oh, yes.
everyone does have that information.
All right, on September 1st, 2022, Tony and Lacey Mansfield applied for a land use district boundary change to rezone their property located at 754 Cole Street from a conservancy district to a residential district. The reason for this request is because Tony and Lacey wish to operate a medical facility to offer midwife and birthing services to the community. A medical facility is not an allowed use in a conservancy district. Therefore, request for rezone to residential zoning is being requested. If rezone is approved, Lacey and Tony are requesting a special use permit which is required to operate a medical facility. The Planning and Zoning Commission approved the land use district boundary change and special use permit on the condition the rezone is adopted by the Town Council. On September 12, 2022, the first reading land use district boundary change occurred, and Councilman Metzen requested to know the stipulations for the special use permit. Should the rezone be approved on the third reading, the special use permit will go into effect with the following stipulations. Number 1, obtain and maintain a valid state license before providing services. Provide a copy of the license to the planning office. Provide the building inspector with approved plans from the Wyoming Department of Health Engineer. Obtain a building permit from the building inspector, including but not limited to are met. Off-street parking, concrete pad for parking, ADA ramp into the facility, insulation for the plumbing. Have a surveyor mark the property lines if requested by the building inspector to verify the placement is not within the setbacks. Coordinate with the building inspector for the off-street parking plan and install off-street parking before beginning business. Obtain a sign permit from the Planning and Zoning Commission for the business sign. Obtaining the sign from the building inspector after approval of the sign permit. Facility is to be inspected by the building inspector on landowner shall remove the structure upon closing, no longer being used as a medical facility, lapse in medical licensure, or relocation of the business. The structure remains not permanent, so it can be removed. If the council has any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer those.
So I appreciate you providing that. I think in the past, there's always a little bit of a to-do list or suggestion. So that's what I was curious about. So
That was the most lengthy one we've ever seen.
What's on the
Not too
condition of
bad,
special
just one
use,
basic
which is
stuff.
connected to the rezone. So,
What's the licensing agent? Who licenses you?
State
State what? State board of what?
midwifery.
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 Midwifery. That would be phonetically correct, yeah. Interesting. Is that that's a bona fide board of the state, apparently. Wow.
Yeah, licensure started in 2010.
Okay. Huh. Off-street parking? You mean on-street parking? Parking on the street? Is that what we're talking about?
off-street parking. That stipulation
In
was
her area?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
on her property.
And because of the size, I think we decided that we only needed 2 parking spots, correct?
That's going to be up to the
Building inspector, okay.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
and he might have downsized it. I'm not sure where he's at today.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions or concerns? Any other comments from you guys? And all in favor signify by saying aye on second reading.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry.
Two down, one to go.
Under new business, you have a long-range plan cost update for a proposal from Exponential Engineering.
So Mayor, a couple of years back, we hired Exponential Engineering to do a long-range plan for our electric department. And this is a request to update the costs, update the projects for us. And because as we know, the costs have went up dramatically since that. It will assist us in budgeting and moving ahead.
Well, for the purpose of discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve the Exponential Engineering proposal.
So moved. Oh.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion on the issue?
Just for. Come on. Well,
What do we have in the budget? Do we have this in the budget?
We have $5,000 in engineering, but I was kind of looking at what we can find for the balance of it. This was an unexpected cost that came up, so it will assist us in budgeting for our next year's budget and for phase 3 and 4 of the Black Mountain project.
So,
Well, just for reference, the long-range plan is dated May 8th, 2020.
2020.
So it's 2 years old. More than 2 years old.
So yeah, I'm guaranteed the cost association is old information.
The workshop that I requested for next month, we'll be visiting with them a little bit more on the Black Mountain projects and the, substations and all of that. We have some expenses coming up in those areas and I plan for those and have budget for those because I know they'd really like to start that engineering now. But I was worried about getting this approved, let alone it was $150,000, I think, for that engineering on the next phases, so. Everything's just higher than expected.
there we go.
Did we move?
It's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Any question?
All right. All in favor of the proposal from Exponential Engineering, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Going forward, I'd recommend you budget this every year or like every 2-year cycle. And you should probably do it also for your water budget, the water plan that we just looked at last year.
Honestly, probably every year with the way costs are.
Well, I mean, contracting with your engineer to do a formal update of your plan. Remember the guys that came and gave us the presentation last month already? We talked about the tattered book, the tattered cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was that special meeting we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you should just kind of plan. I mean, you've got 2 really good resources to carry forward. The council should really keep them updated. What you got?
I think that's the end of the agenda, unless there's anything else. As far as announcements go, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be November 14th at 7 p.m. right here with a public workshop at 5 or 5:30.
Probably at 5 to get everything done.
Okay.
And then also we have the public hearing for the community development block grant on October 31st.
Yep, that's right at 10 a.m.
I'll remind you guys.
And that's here.